Concrete's getting poured today. First of the lorries is arriving there, so reverse up there, get loaded off the forklift. I'll just be going back down in a second, putting the quad bike away. Got a wee party of cows following me this morning. Morning, Holly! So I'm just in the field of rape at the moment. Oh, it's class. Big breakdown. It's the drill working there. That's the first load, 10 more to go. So basically along the edges, because it's got a wee recess underneath it, take this vibrator and that section there just vibrates and you run it along these edges, kind of allows the cement to pour underneath. This trailer's just getting in the way of the cement lorries when they're in. This guy's actually empty, so we'll get it shifted out of the road. That'll help us a wee bit. That's that trailer out of the way. Shed guys are sheeting while they're kind of flashing off the edges there. That's 2 loads in, he's just screeding it just now, waiting on another lorry coming. Three loads down. Five loads done. Here comes number 6. Sheet's going up as well. Another lorry's reversing it back there. Six. Floor's going pretty well. There was a wee hiccup early on. There was a load, only the first 2 loads came and it was quite dry. It wasn't a huge lot of moisture through it, and then we got a delay and not many lorries came after that for a while, so it just meant that dry kind of block started drying off a wee bit and it was just touch and go. Anyway, the rest came and we got water sprayed over it and whatnot. Question of the day, what's this? Chemicals arrived for spraying today. Almost there, 1 cubic metre short, or 1.5. Have to fill in the balance. Good start. 99% of the concrete poured, waiting on 1.5 cubic metres coming. So we can go and start washing stuff. They've got the power washer in there, but it doesn't really work too good on stones, kicks up stones and whatnot, so we'll get ours out onto the concrete on the other end of the shed. Just make a better job of it. Harvest can't be too far away, there's a baler net just turned up. It is boiling. He's just going to whiz about on his whirly thing, whatever that is called. Just kind of evens off the surface, works the surface as it's drying out to give it a nice good finish. The technicalities of it, you'll need to speak to a professional concrete man. Final bucket full. That's all in. Stuart's just getting the excess there, and we'll tip it up here. The edge of the concrete is starting to kind of cave a wee bit, so we'll fill it in. See it there, that kind of edge. Just tidy it up a bit. Shed guys all parked up. They're away for a week, at least a week anyway. So that's how it's going to look for a while. Friday today, nothing planned for next week, so there'll be 0 progress. Shed guys digger guys will polish up the concrete tonight and finish that off, and then yeah, nothing much will happen. see what we're doing there. It's just so that edge is not taking the brunt of the weight when tractors and machinery all goes over it. Bit of excess, it's free to us, so better make use of it. It'll save the edge a bit. And that stuff out of the fan and the dryer, and loads of chaff comes out. So that usually gets filled with chaff and it holds moisture. So you have to clear it out, and that's why it's kind of slowly degraded, and the height of here is dropped in comparison to the concrete, so that's why the edge is starting to crumble really. So that'll just protect it a bit. The other edge it's not as bad, but it's going the same way. Just on that, he makes it look very easy. Tricky. There's Lulu. So the concrete was poured, started at, first load was just before 8 o'clock this morning, finished pouring at about 3, and then by that time they were getting on the concrete with their polishing machines to start polishing. It's now 10 o'clock, so that's been 7 hours they've been polishing. They've still got till about 2 in the morning, so another 4 hours. So we're talking about 11 hours to polish it. As it kind of cures, or as it kind of dries and the moisture comes out of it, just keep on top of the surface, keep smoothing it down, then you end up with a really nice finish. He's done quite a lot of concrete for us over the years. The farm shop's had a few bits from him. We did a central passage in the cattle shed there, that shed up there, and then various other bits, but really nice finish to it when it's finished. So we'll look at it in the morning. I'll go and have a quick look at it now. Slick as anything. When you brush on that, it's just like, oh, so easy. It's whizzing about. It makes it look damn easy. Damn easy. I'll get an update in the morning of the floor. Don't know, I might just put it at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like. Yesterday's question of the day: septic tank. So when people go and have a nice steak in the shop and then it comes out the other end, that's where it winds up. Not very enjoyable to clean out. Looks good. Here's the concrete. Smooth as anything. Need like a marble to roll across it to show you how smooth it is. So the colour of it just now, it seems quite dark, but as the moisture kind of comes out of it, it will end up just looking like similar to the wall colour. Light grey, a grey. But now it's kind of a dark grey, bluey type. But it's smoothing up. So this will now be 2 weeks until this is officially, well, safely you can drive on it with machinery, heavy machinery, but we won't need it till then. We won't need it for a while actually. There's on the 16th, which is about 2 weeks from now, the middle section is getting poured, so then 2 weeks after that we'll be able to use from the door down to here, fill with grain, and then just because of concrete issues and trying to get it, it's really awkward. The last section is going to be left till 2 weeks after this section's poured. It'll give us enough of the shed to use for the amount of crop we've got to cut early on, so no problem. So there you go, that's the first slab of concrete. Completely finished, dead smooth, should be dead flat. It was all done with lasers, so on the rakes that we use to kind of move it all about as it's getting poured, he puts a laser on there and sets up his laser, so you can kind of just place your rake on the top and it'll kind of tell you exactly where you are and what kind of level you're at, and then you just shift all about until you're dead flat across it all. And then he goes across it with a screeder, that kind of vibrates it, sugars it all about, brings up any air bubbles, levels off as well, and then he starts going on with his rotary screeder, not really sure what it's called, the 2 rotary machines he's got. So he goes on and they just rotate, and it's like going over it with a trowel, but lots. This whole section will get cut, so we'll go down it with a saw, probably about, I don't know, like 25 metres square blocks. That's just allowed for expansion and contraction through heat cycling, so it doesn't crack. This metal flashing can probably now come off right now. I'm not sure when he'll come out to do that. He was out till 2 in the morning, so I doubt he'll be out this morning anyway. And then it'll be shifted over to there so we can pour the next section. But no, looking top notch, starting to get there. Shed guys will be back in a week, I think, to start doing more work, finishing off the gable end there, finishing off, you can see there's still a gap up there. They also put in kind of blocker type things into kind of like the gaps of the roof going down there, just so birds can't get in, and there's gaps down here as well they have to do all the way along the whole thing. They have to do all the seams, fill all the seams so grain doesn't pour into there, so there's a lot of seams to do around the whole shed. And then that's most of the things to do. They have to touch up the paint on the steel work, just because when they're lifting it into place with cranes and chains and whatnot, you get scratches and scores and whatnot. So that's it, the kind of rotary screeder type thing. Anyway, it's got 2 rotors there with blades on them, and they're just like the trolls going back and forward, or continually spinning. He's got 2 of them, and a wee one as well, a hand one. Floodlights work well.